Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD3, also on the iHeart Radio app. We're hanging out always, Casino, Arizona, on a Monday at the CAZ Sportsbook. Frank Sanders is our guest. He has not expired on a golf course trying to play at 110 degrees and 60% humidity. It's great always when he joins the show. So I'll just drop this one on you right away, big dog. Brandon Aiyuk had a meeting today with the San Francisco 49ers. Does he have a leg to stand on negotiating with the 49ers? Or because of their right now salary cap situation, is he just going to get what the 49ers have available?
Hey, guys. Happy Monday to you guys, man. Jimmy B, thank you so very much, man, for eloquently calling me the big guy.
That's it.
But I will say this, that Brandon Aiyuk absolutely does have a leg to stand on. You know why? Because he's always there, and Deebo Samuel.
I'm bringing you guys down because of whatever is going on behind you.
Aiyuk can run every route.
So I'll bring you back up when he's done.
Guy, but also he can be a first team. He could be a first receiver on many teams in the NFL right now. I like the fact that he believes that, he knows that. But when you look at the comparison between him and Deebo, yes, Deebo can do a lot, but Deebo does not have the longevity as Aiyuk has, and I think he has the right to go in and argue for his money.
Do you think, Frank, it's a matter of that guaranteed money? It seems like all these large receiver contracts, the guaranteed money or the upfront money along with that might be the sticking point. I mean, salaries aside, you and I both know, well, he's going to make $50 million a year on average over the next 5 years. But for the security side, is it more the guaranteed money or upfront money he wants to be comparable with those other receivers?
I would definitely think he would argue about. He would argue about the guaranteed money up front without a doubt, because that is a sticking point right now for not just the receivers, but every position right now. And that just seems like the way the league is doing it. The reality of the guaranteed money is that it's still prorated money. You got a 5-year contract, $100 million, but they give you 50 up front. That money still being, that $50 million is still being spread out over the term of that contract. So you look at it as 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, no matter what. And so that part is that is a sticking point, but in reality, he needs to look at it from the position that, I've been here, I've been faithful, I've been solid on the thing, at least get it somewhere close to the numbers of what the receivers are asking, because when Deebo is not here, I'm the number one guy no matter what.
And I think what I hear you saying, Frank, it's not so much his value on the market, the value to that team. Those other teams have valued them, those other receivers, immensely. If they're balking at the kind of money the other guys are making, they tell them, well, you're not just quite as valuable to us as the other teams. Is that what I kind of sort of hear you saying?
Yeah, absolutely. When we talk about the top receivers in the NFL, there is 32 teams. Every quarterback right now in the NFL sits in the shotgun about 85% of the time, 80 to 85% of the time. And I'm pretty sure I'm almost correct on that number there. And there is 4 to 5 wide receivers constantly going out, but you only know about maybe 7 or 8 top name receivers. And that's just the way the league has been. It has promoted the Jeffersons of the world, as well as the Tariq. I mean, so those are the names that we're using, but the offense is sitting in a 4 wide receiver consistently. So you have to get the ball spread out to the number 2s, the number 3s, and the number 1 tight ends. You have to spread the ball out. But what happens is with a guy like Aiyuk, he gets devalued only because we hear Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey. But I absolutely think he's absolutely valuable, and he has to argue from that point because he knows that Deebo has been hurt most of the time that he's been there.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So my follow-up question to all of that is, if you get a signing bonus, because I've gotten those in the past, the government takes like 50% of that signing bonus right from the get-go. So instead of getting the signing bonus, you're saying that he would like to have that money distributed out over several years? Or is he just going to take the signing bonus and be happy?
Now, the league does that, man. It doesn't matter. If you get whatever your signing bonus looks like, they say it's guaranteed, but we know that the NFL, this could happen to a player, and we always say that it's not for long. A player can have a 5-year contract. He gets hurt in year 2. year 3, the collective bargaining agreement will protect him. But after year 3, that team can let him go, and they can get some compensation, or they can figure out how do we get that other parts of that signing bonus back. Remember the Ricky Williams situation or the Barry Sanders situation.
Yes.
Both of those guys that got new contracts, and then they let both of those guys wanted to leave the team or quit. Ricky Williams' situation was he had a marijuana situation. He couldn't stop. But long story short, they wanted the signing bonus back. All NFL money and contracts are prorated. And so I agree with you. Tax money up front or tax money on the back end, that's a decision that he has to, that's a financial decision he would have to make. But everyone wants that money up front. Give me be a bird in the hand or 2 in the bush.
Sure.
Yep.
I feel with my hands, but I see those things in the bush, and I don't know if they can fly away. And that's why those guys want that money up front.
See, I knew I could count on you for a quality analogy like that.
Yeah, bird in the hands with 2 in the bush. I think I'd rather have that bird in the hand now, Frank, and then deal with it later. Hey, looking at this, I mean, the Cardinal staff going on vacation, but if you're Petzing and you're the offensive coordinator for this Arizona Cardinals team, you're looking at this talent, look at this offense, and I mean, there's so many things you can do with it. If you're the offensive coordinator for this Arizona Cardinals team, looking at what you have on paper, what would be your mindset now as you head into training camp and kind of game planning for the kind of season you would like to see, let's say specifically out of your passing game?
Initially, my mindset would be, how am I going? What's the best group of peers I could use to attack? And what do I know about my offense thus far? This is my number one question. What do I know about my offense thus far? And what I know about my offense, I have James Conner, and I have a tight end that has 81 catches and almost over 800 yards last year in his second year. He's ready to play. He's ready to bud. So everything in my offense right now is looking at if I was looking at Kansas City, Kelsey's the man. My man right now, McBride, has to be the man in my offense. I need to figure out how to make him become the most explosive person on the football field right now. And the only reason I need that is because he immediately changes the narrative of a defense, how they're going to cover my 2 stud receivers on the outside, and that's Wilson and Harrison. James Conner definitely pulls another personnel on the another safety down, but with my tight end, he becomes a neutralizer. I'm looking at it from that perspective because, Trey right now is proven to be a top guy. He's proven to be capable of doing a whole bunch. Kyler likes him and likes what they've been doing with him over the last couple of games of the season. So he's my guy. I figure out how to make him the priority and how to offset things with the defense right now, because I know that I can what Trey does, and I don't know exactly what Marvin's going to do and what Michael's going to do and how teams are going to try to cover those guys.
Well, let me add to that, if you don't mind, in your offensive coordinator room. Hey, Coach, how about Trey Benson? We isolate him coming out of the backfield with screens, slip screens, some man-to-man coverage, and not necessarily on passing situations.
2 minutes.
To try to get some of those mismatches, because that dude can run.
So I agree with you 100%. He's definitely, but he's an anomaly right now. We don't know what he does at the NFL level. That's my only concern. I know right now if I'm Trey, if I'm Petzing walking away, I know what I have in my tight end.
Sure.
Michael Wilson, I know he's young. He's got another year to kind of figure some stuff out. But both of our receivers have the body. They have the speed. They have the hands. They have the size. But they haven't done it. And Trey has done it, and he's done it at high levels. At 81 catches, a little bit more than 800-some yards in the NFL, that's a hell of a jump from a rookie season. So I know what I got with him. And then I could literally build an entire offense off that just by the motion packages, the switching guys over from a twin set into a trip set, moving that tight end, isolate him one-on-one on the outside and let my forward 3 receivers on the right side. Just
1 minute.
Moving him around changes the narrative of what the offense has looked like over the past years. But I know what I got with him. That's the same thing we felt like when we had Ertz. We knew what we got with him, and we knew what we had in him. So that changes everything. So my mindset, the NFL is built on tight ends and quarterbacks. Guess what I'm doing? Focusing on my tight end, my quarterback, and we're gonna go out and dominate.
30 seconds. When did you see the light bulb go on for Trey? 30 seconds.
You know what? I think it literally, man, somewhere probably about middle of the season when he realized it was primarily him, and he had to realize how defenses were trying to cover him because we didn't have Kyler in there. Mm-hmm. So because Kyler wasn't there, we had to get into an offensive system that allowed him to get more reps, more opportunity, more runs, and more consistency. And because of that, by the time Kyler got there, it was like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I know how they cover me. I know what these defensive coaches look like. And then he began to trust his own abilities, making plays, getting the crowds in, getting excited, about being that guy. And I tell you what, that transition from having Zach Ertz to him was absolutely seamless.
You're the best, pal. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Enjoy the hockey game tonight.
I look forward to it. I'm a Florida boy, man. So go Panthers.
There you go.
I'm surprised you knew the Panthers were even playing.
Oh, come on.
Look at you, Frank.
He's gone.
He's well-rounded. Come on, Manuch, give him credit. Frank, brought to you by the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. It is a sports fan's paradise. In fact, there's lots of people already here. They're hanging out over at the CAZ Sports Book, and they are getting ready for the Game 7 tonight in the National Hockey League. 3 live betting windows, also 6 self-service kiosks. They're open 8 in the morning until 11 at night. It's a great place to have a great time. CAZ Sports Book at the CAZ Sports Bar, Casino, Arizona. When we come back, up